As we're getting into the cold weather and really the winter time, a lot of Model 3 owners are finding out that it's becoming a problem. And a problem I'm not really sure why Tesla didn't really foresee, and I'm not really sure if it's a problem that's easily fixed. Let me tell you all about it coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric!
Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. If this is your first time here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything moving forward. All right, let's talk about this. We're here in California, most of the Model 3 owners, and this is where the car is made. We usually enjoy a pretty nice climate, and, a lot of times we don't think what happens to stuff when it's frozen. But this is exactly what's happening. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this, I just saw an article at electric.co, and its editor-in-chief, I think he is, Fred, was talking about how people are now complaining, now that, they're experiencing the cold weather, that a lot of issues are happening with the Model 3, with charging port maybe being frozen in, the windows not lowering when you have to open the door. Most importantly, the door handles not coming out. The way these door handles, they don't just kind of come out like in the Model S. You kind of have to push one end and another one comes out, and then you kind of drag it out. So, when that's frozen in, you can get into the car. Now there is a preheat. You can preheat your car with your app depending on how cold it is. That does help, but that also, you kind of have to remember that you're just about to go and jump into your car. But what if it's an emergency? What if you, just decided to go and get something to eat? You don't have 20 minutes to preheat your car. I mean, if you're going to have to. And it's a problem. So now Fred posted a video that him just trying to unlock the car. He couldn't do it for a while. As you can see, it's kind of stuck. And then finally it kind of unfrozen him. I think this is after he preheated it. And as you can see, there's just a lot of like little pieces of ice there, which were obviously keeping them in. Look how much it is on there. So it's a problem, and I'm surprised it has. And at least I haven't seen that many problems with the charging port of the Model S and Model X. I know people reported it, but I have a pretty big community on Facebook, and people, believe me, when they have a complaint, they definitely post it right away. I just haven't seen those in all this years, and I've had that board for about 5 years now, or 6 years. But I wonder how. But listen, the door handles is a big deal. A lot of times, charging ports is something that kind of do it at home when it's already unfrozen, or you do have time to come back, maybe another half an hour and plug it in. But this is something that's a problem. And now I didn't like the way the door handles were designed back in the day. Let me show a video that a lot of you probably haven't seen. As a matter of fact, and maybe I'll talk about it, someday. But this is one of the videos was actually taken down by Tesla, kind of almost threatening me and bullying me into taking this video down. So it was only up for like a few hours, and after that I took it down. I made it literally in August or September of 2017. I was really one of the first, media people to be in the Model 3, and I'll show you a quick piece about it because I was already, as soon as I saw those door handles, I'm like, oh, I'm not sure about that. Before that, let me just remind you that this show and this channel is sponsored by Avanex, the aftermarket accessories that usually don't freeze to the door of your car, at least none of that I've heard of. So go ahead and grab the discount code in the description of the video so you can save yourselves a few bucks. Okay, so let me show you that video, and this is from a while back. This is only a couple months after the launch of production of the Model 3. Okay, here we go.
So a few drawbacks, door handles. Door handles, oh, good Jesus. The door handles is something that I enjoy every day. And I've had my car for almost 5 years now, and I'm on my third one. And even people who have never seen the car before obviously enjoy that. That's really cool how they come out. In the Model 3, what you have to do is you kind of have to push on one side of the door handle, the other one comes out, and then you kind of have to drag it out of there so you can open the door. Now the door unlocks and opens a little, but you still kind of have to drag it almost awkwardly out of there. Now this is something that you can easily get used to, but I'm just saying it's just no longer that awesome feature that the Model S and Model X has with their doors just opening for you without even having to touch it. So I thought that was something to, to mention.
Well, so a few things. First of all, I was always attacked by a bee over there. Secondly, those Model 3s that you see behind me, those were one of the first ones made. And again, maybe one day I'll share how this whole thing went down with Tesla. I'm really, really still really bothered by the way I was treated. But again, this is a different story for a different day. But as you can see from day one, when I saw those door handles, I was like, I don't know. And don't forget, this is also you kind of have to operate it, there are some people with some hands problems or even sometimes kids have problems actually pushing it on one side and taking it out on another side. I think it's just ugly the way it looks in terms of like how when it happens, how it just kind of you're like almost dragging it, right? So and now there's this problem. I'm curious how they're going to fix it because I don't know what can you really do about it. I mean, you can't guess when people need to have their car preheated. I don't know if there's a material that wouldn't freeze to like because there's a kind of a crack around it, right? Just a space around the door handle, just like with the charging port. And no matter what you make that thing out of, it will have water gather in there and then freeze, right? So I'm curious how this is going to be solved. I mean, there's over 100,000 of these cars on the road now, and more and more are going to be delivered in the colder climates. Not like north parts of the United States, obviously in Canada. Once the deliveries will start in Europe, Norway and Switzerland and other countries that are up north there that will definitely have to deal with it. I am curious to know how, and I'm also curious to know how they did not really see this coming because normally cars are being tested in different climates, and I mean you've seen that Mercedes and Audi they've released videos of their pre-production prototypes being tested like all over the world in really hot climates and really cold climates. I mean they really I wonder, did Tesla not do that? I mean, I know they kind of skipped a couple of cycles of pre-production before going to production with the Model 3, and I understand why, but I'm a little bit weirded out that they haven't thought it through. Now, maybe there are very few people who are experiencing this, though that's a few too many probably. But if there will be more, and I'm pretty sure that the way physics and with water and the cold weather work everywhere in the world, this may just be a bigger problem than we might think. Again, not sure how this was not a problem with even the door handles for the Model S and Model X or the charging ports, but let's see what happens with this. And by the way, guys, if you are have any one of these three cars, and let me know if you've ever had a problem with when it's snowing and raining and then snowing after that. Like have you ever had a problem? Let me know. I'm actually curious to see because I've never thought about it because we have sun. Well, not really sun right now. It's smog, but sun here in California. We don't think about stuff like that. So I'm curious to know. Thank you for your comments ahead of time. And by the way, let me just give a quick shout out to one of my new Patreons, Jordan Amoth. Thank you so much for becoming my Patreon, for joining my Patreon community. Obviously, you guys are awesome because you're supporting me now, full-time independent YouTuber. But you also get some pretty cool perks. The highest tier, which is only $5, though you can start with just $1. You get to watch me live, which is the fastest way to kind of get to my videos. You're the first ones to see them, and of course I do the extra mile segment just specifically for you guys, and a lot of the other exclusive stuff for my Patreons. But thank you so much, Jordan, for joining me, and there are a few other ones that I'll definitely get to. But Patreon, right here, Patreon. Why can't I learn how to point correctly? Patreon.com/E4Electric if you want to support me and also get a few perks for that. All right, thanks so much. Looking forward to your comments. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.